Hello, welcome back. Today is October the 12th. It's really glum, it's drizzling outside. We've had rain on and off for about 24 hours, so the ground is just far too sodden to do any digging today. So I thought I'd come down to the Polytunnel. I will show you how my carrots are doing. I sowed carrots in my raised bed just down here, and I also put some carrots in a 35-litre potato bucket and also like a 10-litre bucket. So I haven't updated you on those. So I will show you how they're getting on, and also I did mention when I planted the carrots that I would also be putting some onions in the polytunnel as well, so they had a little bit of a head start, because usually I only put things in the polytunnel maybe about May time. Usually it's just the tomatoes, so I'm going to really try and make the best use of space that I can this year. So I've got 50 of these kind of just normal onions, and they're called Radar, so they're going to be going in today as well. Firstly, I'm going to close this door because it's so nippy. The first thing that I want to show you is the carrots that I've got growing in containers. I'm so excited about this. I've got a 35-litre container that are all growing really well, and they've got their kind of their first lot of true leaves coming through. And again, with the 10-litre container I've got here, they've all started growing really nicely as well. So definitely a win for me. I only had 2 harvests of carrots this year from a raised bed on my no-dig plot. So I'm really hoping that this is going to do well, and I'll always every year be able to overwinter carrots in a polytunnel or a greenhouse and have an early harvest. I'm hoping as early as March, but who knows, it's still really early days, but I'm so happy with these. If you are inspired or haven't done this yet but you plan to, I think you can still germinate carrots in the greenhouse up to about late October, but you might want to try, if you've got the smaller kind of the 10-litre containers, maybe bring them indoors for a couple of days or a week until they germinate, and then you can bring them into the greenhouse, because quite often seeds need that warmer temperature just to germinate, and they can actually grow at a much smaller, a much lower temperature. But once obviously we hit very low kind of winter temperatures, they're not really going to grow anymore. They're just going to kind of stay waiting until we warm up like early spring. So anyway, who knows how well these are going to do, but I'm really hoping, and I'm quietly confident, that I'm going to have a little harvest here, which is always exciting, because I don't know about you, but there's quite a lot of wasted space in our polytunnel here at the allotment. So you never know, I might be able to get a few more of these in before the end of the year. Now I will show you how the carrots are doing in the little raised bed just here. And here you have the carrots in the raised bed. As you can see, there aren't any. Now, they actually germinated at the same rate as the ones in the buckets here, but unfortunately, I think because my raised bed is shared with my plot neighbour, and she's still got quite a bit of vegetation kind of going on. I think maybe 1 or 2 rogue slugs and snails got across and ate them, because they did grow and start growing really well. I've still got a couple that seem to have survived, or they've been nibbled, but they might grow back. So I'm not going to worry too much about them, but I'm not going to actually sow any more seeds here, because I am going to be putting 50 onion sets in this area. Now, if you look at kind of how to grow onions or how to space them in an allotment or a raised bed or anything, no one's really going to say put 50 in such a small area. But when I was having a look, I was reading about square foot gardening a couple of years ago, and I randomly came across 1 metre gardening, where this man had split his kind of allotment or garden into 1 metre raised beds, and he'd actually put 50 onion sets in this raised bed, and actually they grew pretty big, and they looked okay. They were much smaller than the big fat onions that you would hope for, but they were kind of around, if you're in the UK and go to a supermarket, we've always got like the value brand of vegetables, and the onions are always a lot smaller, so a little bit more fiddly. So I'm going with they're going to be about the same size as that, but unless I try it this year, I'm not going to know. So I think it's well worth giving it a good experiment this year. I also do want to get some garlic growing in the polytunnel as well over the winter, but maybe I'm going to be thinking about that later in the week or something. So yeah, I'm actually quite excited to be getting these in because it's one more thing in the ground. I think I've got maybe 4 more of these to actually plant, and on days like this when it's raining, it's actually nice to get out and do it. So I'm going to put these in and then we'll go from there. Onion bulbs have been planted now, so I put 4 rows of 8, and then the ones that I had left over I just kind of dotted around so they weren't too close together. I'm not going to lie, I'm quietly confident that these are going to do really well, so fingers crossed. While I'm here, I think quite a lot of people have cleared down their stuff out of the polytunnel now, and everything needs a really good sweep. So I think I'm going to give a good sweep and kind of put everyone's remaining pots really neatly so I can work out how much space I can possibly fit a couple more of my the 35-litre buckets I've got, because I think they are going to be perfect, and I am not going to be using those until about March next year. So I'm going to get on with that now. So there we go, everything is looking a little bit tidier now. It's had a good sweep, and I've just moved the carrots into the middle of the polytunnel over here just so they can have maximum amount of light, because obviously as well as it being much cooler in autumn, the days are getting shorter, so you want to give them as much help as possible. I am so pleased as well that I've got my onions in the polytunnel as well, because that's something I really wanted to do, and it just shows that even if it's kind of, you know, a glum day and it's raining, there is always something you can do. I am going to be thinking of more things that I can be planting in the polytunnel over winter, but I don't want to be buying any new seeds this year because I've got to sort my seed situation out, and that's maybe something I'm going to be doing in the next video. So yes, I'm going to leave the video here. I hope you've enjoyed watching today, and I hope I've inspired you to maybe have a go at putting some carrots in a container, like a small pot or something, in the polytunnel or greenhouse. And yeah, I hope you have enjoyed. So thank you very much for watching. If you are new here, please do hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you can be notified of all of my latest videos. YouTube have some videos up on the screen now that they think you'll like, so please go ahead and watch those, and I will catch up with you in the next episode. Bye!